Hello everyone, welcome to this talk. My name is Manlu Chen and I'm a PhD candidate from Nanyang Business School, NTU, Singapore. Today I will be presenting waiting time management in a healthcare open shop network. This is a joint work with Arthur Baron, Avishai Madabam, Jianfu Wang, Galit Biyongdom, and Nadir Aber. The open shop service system, in which customers visit multiple stations without a specific order, is broadly applicable to various settings. For example, in amusement parks, customers visit various rides in any order. In this paper, we investigate the waiting time management of a clinic's open shop service system. Customers upon arrival first register at the reception and then take a survey on their medical history. The next station is always the blood test. Other stations can be visited in an arbitrary order with a few precedence constraints. For example, the cardiac stress test is after the physician examination. We say that the dispatcher who is in charge of the routing is the center of customer flow. The clinic, and therefore us, evaluate the system performance by two measures. First, from the macro level, we consider the total wait, which is the total time one customer spends on waiting during the entire visit. Second, we are also interested in the micro level, the station level performance. This is important because customers may evaluate the service based on the worst moment, and excessively long wait at one station may have a decisive force on the overall evaluation. Here are some analysis results of the clinic's data in year 2016. From macro level, on average, each customer spent over 100 minutes on waiting, which was around 60% of the system time. From the micro level, over 30% of customers waited more than 30 minutes at least once during their visit. Moreover, customers experience extensively long wait at bottleneck stations. For example, 6% of customers waited more than 30 minutes at the physician examination station. To improve the system performance, the clinic implemented two information technologies. First, the clinic employed an auto-routing system to speed up the routing decision and lessen the dispatcher's workload. Second, the clinic adopted a short message service (SMS) system that updates customers about service progress instantly. Customers receive messages when they are routed to their next stations and when servers call customers to examination rooms. In this project, we want to understand the operational benefit of information technologies in open shop service networks. Our objectives are twofold. First, we examine whether these automation efforts improve the system performance. Second, we suggest priority and routing policies that would utilize these technologies and further enhance the performance. Our work is related to several streams of literature. First, a stream of research considers the development of priority and routing policies for open shop networks. At each station, the priority policy decides which customer will be served next when a station is freed. This is closely related to the scheduling problems of manufacturing environment. Most of the open shop scheduling problems consider the macro level performance and are NP hard even in simple two-station networks. The routing policy decides which station should a newly freed customer be routed to. Some papers study the strategic customer's self-interested routing behavior. Our work is also related to the system performance evaluation of multi-stage and open shop service systems, healthcare information technologies, and the application of simulations to healthcare systems. Due to the time limit, I skipped the empirical data analysis part, and here are our findings. Regarding the effect of the auto-routing system, we find that such a system changes the wait time composition but does not reduce the total wait. When the system is congested, the routing process is less a bottleneck than services. Immediate routing reduces the wait for routing duration but cannot reduce the wait for servers. Second, the routing decisions generated by the system may be suboptimal. This implies that the auto-routing system could be improved. Meanwhile, the dispatcher has a lower workload, has on-site information, and can make better routing decisions. We find that the SMS system reduces the calling frequency and call time at most stations, and therefore improves the clinic's efficiency. However, since call times only account for a small fraction of the total system time, the practical impact of this reduction is negligible. We conclude that the technologies did not realize the effects intended under the current implementation, although both initiatives are not as effective as expected. One feature of these two technologies is that they can facilitate the clinic's customer flow management. The auto-routing system adopts any priority and routing policies. The SMS system provides immediate updates so that routing decision execution needs less time and effort. Therefore, we next investigate the data and identify potential areas for improvement. The clinic has been using the station-level first-come, first-served priority policy so that when a server becomes idle, she will call a customer from the head of the queue. This is motivated by the idea that customers who arrived at the station earlier have already waited for a long time and are more likely to experience a station-level long wait, and therefore should be prioritized. The dispatcher makes routing decisions based on each station's real-time queue length, whether the station is bottleneck or non-bottleneck, and the wait time of the customer at the head of the line. Looking into the data, we have two observations. First, customers who have almost finished all stations typically arrived at their last few stations when those stations are very loaded. Therefore, customers experience the long delays. Intuitively, we conjecture that other priority policies that consider customers' service history and the expected future may be used to reduce these customers' macro and micro level weights. These policies should outperform the first-come, first-served policy. Second, sometimes routing decisions were made too soon. Some stations may become available, but their potential customers were already waiting at previously assigned congested stations. To address this issue, we later propose a buffer strategy. To generate insights on the effects of priority policies, we analyze a simplified open shop system with two single server stations, A and B. We assume station A takes a longer service time than station B. There are two possible routes, A-B. Customer visits station A first, then station B or B-A. Dispatcher's routing decision can be represented by the number of customers assigned to route A-B. Naturally, the rest N-X customers are assigned to route B-A. We consider two performance measures, the macro-level total wait and the micro-level percentage of long waits at stations. And we examine two priority policies, the station-level first-come, first-served discipline, and when stations give non-preemptive priority to advanced customers who finish one of the services. We derive the following propositions regarding the macro and micro-level performance measures and the different priority policies. Here are the numerical results. The horizontal axis represents the routing decision, which is the number of AB customers. The vertical axis is the macro-level performance measure, average total wait. The dashed curve describes the performance under the first-come, first-served policy, and the solid curve corresponds to the advanced customer's priority policy. The left figure is a relatively balanced system. Two station service rates are 1 and 2. The right figure is an imbalanced system with station rates 1 and 3. We see that the dashed curve is always above or overlaps the solid curve, which indicates that our conjecture is true. Prioritizing advanced customers outperforms the first-come, first-served in minimizing the average total wait. Imagine that station B is busy. If station A serves an AB customer, this AB customer is still going to wait at station B. However, if station A serves a BA customer instead, this BA customer will leave the system sooner, and this does not affect AB customer's total wait. Therefore, the average total wait decreases. We next investigate the micro-level performance. The right side vertical axis in blue color is the percentage of station-level waits exceeding a threshold value L equals to 30. In the red circled area, prioritizing advanced customers improves or does not affect the micro-level performance. Such a priority policy reduces customers' wait at their second station. BA customers' wait for station A are less likely to be long because they are prioritized over the AB customers. And after the delay at station A, AB customers will have service B immediately without waiting. To conclude, we find that prioritizing customers with one finished service not only reduces the average total wait, but also reduces the percentage of station-level long waits in some cases. Next, we generalize our findings by conducting a simulation using the clinic's data. Besides the first-come, first-serve, we also consider the following priority policies. First, we prioritize the customer with the longest system time. Customers who arrived earlier at the clinic get served before customers who arrived later. This is motivated by the idea that customers who has already stayed in the system for the longest time is more likely to have an excessive total wait and therefore should be prioritized. We also simulate to prioritize the customer with the shortest expected remaining processing time in order to move customers out of the system in a faster rate. Regarding the routing policy, besides the dispatcher's routing policy, we consider a routing policy that assigns customers to the station with the shortest expected wait, which is estimated by the queue length times the average processing time and then divided by the number of available servers. In the simulation, we only change the priority and routing policies, which determine customers and servers' service orders, and therefore affect customers' macro and micro level weight. We keep all the other elements, including servers' working times, customers' arrival times, service needs, call and service times at each station the same as in the data. We consider multiple performance measures from macro and micro perspectives, such as the mean and standard deviation of total weight, the percentage of long, macro, and micro level weights. As we expected, implementing priority policies that consider customers' characteristics reduces the average total weight. For example, under the dispatcher's routing policy, comparing to first-come, first-serve, the longest system time priority policy shortens the average total wait by 5 minutes, and the shortest expected remaining processing time priority policy reduces the average total wait by nearly 15 minutes. Meanwhile, we observe that the trade-off between performance measures exists. A combination of priority and routing policies may optimize one particular performance measure, but some other measures may be ignored or sacrificed. For example, the clinic's current implemented policies in row 2 minimizes the percentage of waits exceeding 45 minutes, but has the longest average total wait. These two plots provide a more intuitive demonstration. The purple dot, first-come, first-serve, combined with the expected wait time routing policy, optimizes the micro-level performance shown on the vertical axis, but it has a poor macro-level performance shown on the horizontal axis. As the measures changes, the optimal policies change. Therefore, which priority and routing policies to apply depends on what measures are the system's main concerns and how the management team would like to balance the macro and micro-level performances. Recall that another observation from the empirical data is that immediate routing decisions may lead to system inefficiency, that stations become idle while customers are waiting for assigned business stations. We propose a buffer strategy that postpones the routing decisions by limiting each station's queue length under a certain threshold. Customers are routed to stations only if the station's queue lengths are below the buffer value. All other customers wait in a centralized virtual pool. These two buffer points are the simulation results under the first-come, first-serve combined with dispatcher's routing policies, and we set buffer equal to 2. We see that the buffer strategy outperforms some policies with respect to the macro-level measure and effectively manages the station-level long waits from the micro perspective. The improvement is partly because the buffer strategy enables the dispatcher to get the more information and make better routing decisions. Another reason is that some of the wait for service time is redistributed to the wait for routing time. Instead of being immediately routed and then bearing an excessively long wait, customer may have a relatively balanced two-stage wait process. The buffer strategy is novel and needs further investigation. To conclude, we empirically evaluate two information technologies applied by the clinic to improve the customer flow management and find that such practices have negligible impact on system performance. We therefore use a stylized queuing model and simulation to study priority policies that consider customers' profiles. We demonstrate that such policies may outperform the first-come, first-served policy by simultaneously improving the macro and micro-level performances. We also propose a buffer strategy that postpones the routing decisions, which leaves the system more flexibility and gathers more information for decision-making. We show the efficacy of this policy in improving and balancing macro and micro-level performances. And that brings us to the end. I'd like to thank you for your time and attention today. I would be happy to answer any questions you may have.